Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissick.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
Hey, Dana. I'm super excited. You have special requested our special guest today, which is Press McKissick.
Press McKissick in the house. I know. I was like, okay, I selfishly need Press to be on the podcast.
Hey, well, that's why we do this podcast, right? So we can have the conversations we want to have, the guests we want to talk to, all the
That's
things.
Right. That's so right.
That's why everyone should do a podcast. What do you want to talk about? Who do you want to talk to? And what guests do you want to hear from?
What do you want to learn? What peptides are everybody taking? All the things.
Hey, that's not today's topic, right? So I can't help with that.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be having Press on about peptides too soon. Maybe someday if I convert him.
Hold on, before we get started, I have to tell you all, I just saw Anna's post that she posted today of like summer pics, and the girls with their tennis racket and their visors on. I was like, oh my gosh.
They had tennis camp for the first time, and
my request, by the way.
I know Anna told me. She said they said it was too hot or something.
It was too hot. It's Texas. What do you expect?
we need indoor tennis.
Yeah.
Maybe pickleball.
Yeah, anything. I'm not going to give up on them. I bought them those cute little tennis outfits.
I know.
So we got to use them.
They at least look the cutest out there.
Totally. They totally look the cutest. But man, I'm telling you, Amelia looks so old. She just is looking so grown up.
Yeah. They went fishing yesterday. They caught these tiny little fish and had the best time.
Oh, they're just.
She vacillates between, at this age 8, it's from all of a sudden showing like major responsibility. Like she'll just grab the vacuum cleaner up and start vacuuming. And like, who is this child? And she'll be correcting her sister.
That's the Anna side.
That's true. That's definitely the Anna side. Her sister would go get her plate and put it up. And then she'll go from that to very emotional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that age. Yeah.
So, okay. Exciting. So today, Press, you've kind of been going around. Tell us kind of how this all started. How'd you create these and why'd you create them? And we've been using them for these lessons.
Yeah, well, so what I started doing this year, and honestly, it's, Dana, y'all will both know this. John Maxwell, when you go to like usually his big events where you're getting more quality time with him, he carries on his phone basically a note that he just collects things throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And then he uses those in his talks to share like life lessons. I love it. His version is probably better than mine, obviously, for many reasons. But one of them is he does it with a picture. And I always love that. I haven't gotten to that level yet. But what I started doing is just the same idea. I started collecting things I heard on a Instagram video or a book from someone from a book or something from Linda, right? Linda's raised her hand. Right. So just things that or just a thought that I had, from an experience in business or life. So that's kind of the genesis of it. And then as I'm, in my regional duties, I'm always looking for content. Like, what can I do to help our people? And we spend a lot of time working with our people in the business and not enough time working with them on the business. And this is the kind of stuff that you just can't, as many of the people we all follow and listen to, you can't separate like personal development and business success. Right. They are hand in hand. And so what I have found is the more I can help people be better humans, be better at their own personal growth journey, the more attracted to me they are, the more likely they are to stay in business with me, the more likely they are to get better and improve their life. So that's really the genesis.
Yep. Awesome. Love it. Well, you shared these on the regional call, and I told you this before we started recording, but they were just so great, so timely. I've used them several times in the since, was that just Monday? That feels like a lifetime ago. Yeah. I think I've used them seriously 4 times since then. But even this morning with our top agents, and they're just great. So I was like, okay, we got to get these out to everybody, and I got to get the ones that we missed.
Yeah, let's be honest, Dana. That's the real reason Press is on the podcast. Because
Well, I'm
Dana
like,
only got like 6. So she's like,
I'm
I
like,
need the
who
other ones.
starts with number 5 and then leaves us hanging? Like, where are 1 through 4 in the end ones?
Yeah, that's my clickbait.
Yeah, totally. It worked.
So my style of how I did this is I wrote out. So I first started by just taking notes on things, and then what I'm working on doing this year is every 6 months I'm taking my notes. I'm spending some time to revise them to make them more succinct. Better to be able to deliver and myself to understand them, and then I'm ending with a question for myself. So what everyone's about to get is really Press's questions to himself about his life and his journey. And so I'm going to read the lesson, give you a little context around it, and then I'll end with the question. So if you're listening to this via podcast, probably a good one to re-listen to when you're at a place where you can like sit down, pause it, and write your first thought that comes to mind with the question.
Yeah, so good.
That's all right. Are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, Dana, lesson number 1.
Yes, okay.
All right, lesson number 1. Difficult times separate the players from the pretenders.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Difficult times separate the players from the pretenders. It's been said that hard times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people. And weak people create hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Said differently, in real estate, easy markets reward participation. Difficult markets reward discipline.
Yep.
So my question is this: where do you need to apply more discipline right now?
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear Press say this, I think about someone I know in the real estate business that every bit of their language is, whether it's good or bad in their business, is about the market. It's never about, what their discipline should be to be having a good market, no matter what the exterior market is doing.
Yeah.
Because it really is, there's a bunch of real estate business out there, and I promise whatever anybody listening to this goals are, there's plenty of business to hit those goals. It's just a matter of having the discipline to do the activities.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know one of your other ones goes with this, Press, but Gary keeps saying over and over, he just said it on the masterminds, the top agents the market doesn't matter. It's just the degree to which they do the activities. But yeah, you do. And, quite frankly, we are seeing a lot of agents get out this year. And I really think it's because they thought it was going to be a lot easier, than what it is. And they're not wanting to pick up the phone and actually, Press. They're not wanting to swing the axe. So, it's definitely separating the players from the pretenders. Love that one.
Reminds me of something I told Press the other day. I can't remember what we were talking about, but you said something, and I said, "Well, remember Jim Rohn's quote: Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better."
That's right.
Yeah.
We were talking about Press skiing down the Whitefish Mountain, and how I was lamenting that there's not more green runs for me. And Linda reminded me that I should be better instead of wishing the mountain was easier.
Well, actually, what he did is he asked ChatGPT for a friend.
Yeah, I did. That was my context. I said, "Hey, I'm asking for a friend. Is Whitefish Mountain developing any more green runs?" And unfortunately, the answer is no, for those who are looking.
So I pulled an old Jim Rohn quote out and don't wish it was easier, just wish you were better.
You're better. I love it.
I will say, in my defense, it did validate the fact that the blues on this mountain are blacks at other mountains.
Oh, okay.
When everything in my brain says lean uphill and the instructor says lean downhill, I'm having a hard time doing that.
You're better than me. I tell Adam, I'm not even honestly risking going skiing at this point because I can't afford an injury. Like, I don't have time for an injury. So it's just not even an option.
That's right. All right. Are we ready for lesson number 2?
Yep.
All right. Lesson number 2. Don't count your losses, count your lessons. Most successful people don't have fewer failures than everyone else. They simply collect the lessons faster. So here's the question. What lesson has 2026 taught you so far?
That's great. Mm-hmm.
I think that might have come from John Maxwell. It sounds very John Maxwell-esque.
Yeah.
It does sound John like. I'm just trying to think about what lesson has 2026 taught
Well,
me.
I think, Dana, you know how John always says preparation on the front end, reflection on the back. I think we don't spend enough time reflecting on what was the lesson. I always like to say, what was my DNA in it, which is normally what the lesson is.
Yeah.
But just actually thinking, what was the lesson? I don't think there's a single failure that doesn't have some lesson attached, but I think we just don't reflect long enough.
Yeah. I was just talking to Adam about this on our walk this week, and we were just talking about the ecosystem that, we're all in, and how some people really stay in it and make it in leadership in the ecosystem for a long time, and how others kind of don't. And we were talking about the patterns of what the people have done who do, and the ones who don't. And, I told him, I said, I think one of my biggest things I've learned really over the last year, but specifically since January this year, is it might not happen every single time, but you just have to try to stay in great favor with people. And, don't just really like bring value, and just stay in favor with people. And it's interesting to see, like, I told him too, I've learned, like, until somebody specifically does something to me, I'm not counting them out. I'm just trying to stay in good favor and really provide value. And I think that would probably have to be one of the biggest lessons this year that I've just learned through really watching other people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I've always said, most of our successes and opportunities have come from, no matter who was in what role, never, ever burning a bridge.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, the minute you burn a bridge, eventually, someday that person will be in a position that you might need something from.
Yeah.
Or you might need, beholdenness to kick in. You remember I did that, so would you do this? But I think people they think too short-sighted instead of long-term, because I've seen too many leaders come and go, and or people that you may think don't have any influence, eventually all of a sudden have influence, and you think, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I was always kind and giving and all the things that really matter. Just do it no matter what.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so good. Okay, what's next?
Lesson number 3. Don't let yesterday be your greatest day. Yesterday won't help you today. So lesson 3, don't let yesterday be your greatest day. Yesterday won't help you today. Past success is a wonderful teacher, but a terrible place to live.
Mm-hmm.
What worked? So here's the question. What worked yesterday that you need to stop relying on today? What worked yesterday that you need to stop relying on today? My genesis for this one was from press. And because of the difficult market we've been in, and I've had a lot of conversations with our agents who, 4 years ago, as you said, Dana, top agents, it's not dependent on the market. Yeah. However, in my role, I talk to a lot of agents. So there are a lot of agents who had better years 4 years ago or an easier year 4 years ago than today. And so I think a lot of them are relying on what they did 4 years ago and wishing it was the same.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on like that same strategy that worked 4 years ago may not work today. Like you might have to rethink and revamp and do different.
Yeah. Press, will you say the question one more time? What worked yesterday?
Yeah, what worked yesterday that you need to stop relying on today?
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let your past be your anchor.
Yeah, so good. Love it.
Any thoughts on?
Well, I think about, companies that become number one. To stay number one, they have to totally disrupt themselves. And that is a really, really hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to blow up something that's worked so successfully in the past, to have faith and belief that you're going to reinvent something that's going to work better in the future.
Mm-hmm. It makes me think too of leaders, who, gosh, man, they're just great leaders and great people, and you love them so much, but they come in and all they talk about is what they did before, the past. And people don't typically find a lot of, favor or encouragement with that because they want to know where we're going, not, not what we used to do or who we used to be. And like you said, Press, it's a great teacher, but it's not really where we're going today.
Well, and I think looking at the past has some benefit in the fact that it gives you proof that you've done great things in the past. And so it should give you hope and belief to do greater things in the future, but not to stay stuck there. And we all know somebody, from high school that their best years was high school.
What's behind them?
Yeah, it was behind them. And there's never anything great. And that's so, since there isn't anything great, that's all they talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
When you think about like John Maxwell, and I'd recently just heard Mo say this, and I know Gary has said this too. Like Mo recently just said, after she turned 89, she said, I've got so many big things and like huge ideas for my 90s. Like my 90s is going to be my best decade yet. And just having that mindset, I mean, that's huge. Like her past is so incredible and so many lessons and so many successes and so much significance. And she's still like, this next decade is going to be the most impactful and, biggest yet. And I just only pray that I can keep always having that mindset.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Lesson number 4. You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on. You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on. And to prove this, we're going to have a little fun. So Dana, Linda, do me a quick favor. Those who are listening, this would be easier if we we're all in the same room together, but we're not. So we'll give this a go. I'd like y'all to look around the room and find everything that's black. Just find as many things that are the color black as you can find. Okay, so just kind of look, kind of get a mental note.
We must really like black.
I'm looking at y'all's screens thinking, I think there has to be a lot of black in the room, right?
Yep.
Great. All right, cool. So you have a mental note. Now I want you to tell me everything in the room that's red. So what you realize when you do that, right, you were looking for black. So you found black, right? It's like what everyone says about buying a red car, right? You see red cars everywhere once you buy a red car. So what you realize is, as we say in KW, what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
You don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's not there, it's because you weren't looking for it.
Yeah.
I think about Dan Sullivan's quote on this. He says, your eyes only see and your ears only hear what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have not really watched, I haven't watched like the news. I have not watched the news since not this election, but the election before that. I didn't even know who won because I decided, I made a mental note. I don't want to hear all the bad because then all you see around you is bad. So I have literally not watched the news stations. I figure if something really bad happens, people will be talking about it. But I have not watched it since not this election, but the one before.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
This is the same reason why two people can have the same circumstances in life and have two wildly different outcomes. It's because of what they focused on through the circumstance and then the meaning that they gave it on the other side. It's so true.
That's so true.
So here's the question that goes with this one. What have you been looking for, and is it helping you get where you want to go? What have you been looking for, and is it helping you get where you want to go?
I often wonder about this because I know your perspective is everything, and we both know people who see things completely different than you see them. And I've often wondered, what is that? Is that ingrained in them? I know there's the 5, Gary talks about the books, the 5 Thinking Hats by Bono. But I just wonder because, man, when you see somebody like really seeing things completely different than you see it, and you see the train wreck and the consequences that they get from that, you're like, how do you help them? I don't even know if it's possible, but until their perspective changes, nothing will change. Their results aren't going to change. And I think about, Chris, that behavioral, that model that you talk about from that one girl.
Yeah, CTFAR. Everyone in life has circumstances.
Oh,
Your circumstances create your thoughts. Your thoughts create how you feel, your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings create your actions, what you do, and then your actions lead to your results. And what's crazy about that is that most people go to how they feel about something, as you know, they're kind of like where they stop. But the reality is, it's their thoughts that controls everything. So it's how you think about the things that happen in your life that ultimately determines, like you said, perspective, which determines the outcomes you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. And I think about Byron Katie, it would be so valuable if everybody, but I wonder if people can even see it. And I'm sure I've got blind points on mine that I can't see also. But I wonder if everybody would benefit from the question Byron Katie always asks in her famous stuff that she does in her books that she writes is that true? Is that really, really true? Because I think so many times if in our mind we believe our perspective of something is wrong, how far off track is it going to take us?
You know, I was just thinking there was a story that we read one time. I'm trying to see if I can find, I can't remember where it was. Anyway, but it said like both, there was a two sons and they both grew up in the same exact house with the same exact alcoholic father. Do you remember that, Linda? And they both had all these same things. And one grew up and was, you know, successful, totally different, you know, built a big, great family and led a life of significance. And the other ended up following kind of the same path, being the alcoholic, you know, just having like failure after failure, problem after problem. But the purpose of the story went back to, they both experienced the exact same circumstances, Press, like what you started with, but the way that they thought about it was totally different. One let it motivate them to never be like that, and the other thought about it in a way that's how they ended up being.
It became their excuse to be that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. The scariest or the best thing that you can do is spend time on the stories that you tell yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's either going to really help you in your life or it's going to really not help you in your life, depending on how you tell that story.
So true. So true. Wow.
Okay.
What do you
Dana, this is I guess I'm going to turn to you. What do you want me to do? You want me to go through the ones that you've already heard, or do you want me to skip?
How many were there?
I can't remember. Do you remember what the last one I gave you was?
11.
Was it 11. Okay. So I've got 14, so I can do 12, 13, 14, and then whatever else we have time for.
Oh, let's do that. Selfishly, let's do that.
Hey, if anyone's upset that I'm skipping, it's Dana's fault, okay?
We'll come back and do the others.
You'll have to have me on, I guess, for another session.
We will.
All right. So we're skipping ahead for those of you who are type A to lesson 12. And that is do something for others that they can't do for themselves.
Oh, I know that's a John Maxwell one because I love that one.
Life is best lived when you value people and add value to people. So here's the question. Who in your life could you help this week in a way that they could not help themselves? Who in your life could you help this week in a way that they could not help themselves?
This reminds me of the story that Anna told you this week, and you told me about being out for dinner with Mo. And I guess the waitress was kind of having a hard time, or maybe the Holy Spirit just told Mo that she needed a little extra something. And so Mo left her an enormous tip. And it brought the lady to complete tears and said, "You just do not even know kind of week I've had and how important this is to me."
Well, what was really cool about it is Anna said that she wrote a big old number for a tip, and then she gave it to the girl, and she said something like, darling, I wanted to bless you today, and so I gave you a little something extra in there. And she didn't look at it. The lady's like, "Oh, thank you." And Mo stopped her and said, "No, I want you to look.
Yeah.
I want you to look at it." And she opened it up, and a big old number, and she started crying. And she's like, like to your point, she said, "I had a really hard week, and you have no idea how much this means to me." And I just think that's so cool.
Craziest thing. So Mo did the same exact thing when Adam and I went to breakfast with her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
But I love that because I think there's sometimes we can let those moments just kind of like go by quickly. But
Yep.
Mo made it a point for them to stop and recognize the blessing in their life. And I just thought that was really cool. Like there's a way to, some you can just give something and walk away, but Mo like was intentional, gave, and then made the person recognize the gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the quote is so good. It says, "Life is best lived when you value people and add value to people." And I always think of Mo when I hear something like this because she is so intentional about doing that.
Yeah. Yep. So good. Yeah.
Okay. Lesson number 13. Look at your calendar for the next few months and put family time in it first.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your calendar for the next few months and put family time in it first. The very people you're working so hard for can become the people who resent what your success costs them.
Yeah.
The people I respect most in business succeeded without sacrificing their family. They made family a priority and dedicated specific time to them. Sometimes that means bringing them along. Sometimes it means saying no. So the question is this: what family commitment needs to go in your calendar today before your business fills the space?
That's so good.
What family commitments needs to go in your calendar today before your business fills the space?
And I think in the real estate business for sure, so many times, because I've heard the stories from agents, with tears in their eyes, because it's usually after their kids are grown, to say I was present, but I was never really present. I always had somebody else's problems in my head. I always had the phone to my ear. I wasn't truly present with the time that I actually had with my family.
Yep.
I think it's easy to do in this business and confuse, busyness as importance.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think our industry is, I'm sure there's plenty, but I definitely think our industry is one of the ones that we suffer. Like we don't get this enough, or we don't get it quick enough. And it actually got brought up on my top agent mastermind this morning too, about somebody had an agent come on their team, and she's really struggling because she's like, I'm so busy. Like I'm working crazy hours. I'm doing all this craziness. And her rainmaker said, well, is it really, Linda had her go back, and I was so proud of her. I was like, I'm so proud of you for doing this. She's having her go back and list everything she does during the hour for like the next 2 or 3 days, because she said, I think what she's experiencing is that she has these big time chunks that she's not doing anything, but then somebody wants to see a house at 7:30 or 8 at night. And so she's popping out, and it's making her feel like she's working from 7 in the morning until 9 at night. But this is such a good one, Press, because I do think we're bad in this industry about letting business come before family, which is one of the things I have always loved about KW. Obviously, that our values are God, family, then business, and whatever that looks like for people with their family or whatever. But you can't. Your point is so good how you said it, because you don't want the people that you're working so hard for to end up resenting it, when all you did was try to work hard to make, provide opportunities for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think every decision we make, we should factor in who are the people in my 3-foot rule, who are the people that at my deathbed will be standing near it. Right.
Yeah.
And put their priority and time with them above anybody or anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So good. What family commitment needs to go in your calendar today before business fills the space?
Yeah, what family commitment needs to go on your calendar or in your calendar today before your business fills the space?
Yep. Okay, got it.
Okay. 14, lesson number 14. If someone can be worth $1 trillion, what can I be worth? If someone can be worth $1 trillion, what can I be worth? What assumptions have I made about my own ceilings and what my worth is in the marketplace? If someone can create $1 trillion of value, then maybe the biggest limitation on my future isn't opportunity, it's imagination. So here's the question. If someone can create $1 trillion of value, what am I capable of creating over the next 10 years?
I love that you did 10 years.
Like Gary's always told us, any goal you want is pretty much within a 5 to 10 year time frame.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and I think that kind of follows the 10X rule too.
Yeah,
It's
I was
when you
just about to say that. Yeah.
when you set big goals, your brain goes to work to solve them. This person or these people have set trillion-dollar goals.
One person, Elon Musk,
Elon Musk,
who just broke the record for
A trillion.
Most, like his personal net worth is over $1 trillion.
So guess what? His goals were $1 trillion goals. They forced his brain to find solutions that would create $1 trillion values.
Yep.
That's the only difference is, like you said, imagination, our willingness to set something so big, it's so uncomfortable that we're forced to find different pathways and different solutions than we would normally if we just keep setting small goals. I love that.
That's right.
Awesome. Any
So
thoughts on
good.
that, Rebecca?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm busy writing.
I wish you can use them this week.
I know. No, I thought the same thing that you thought. I mean, I do think sometimes we just a problem, and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes it's just not thinking big enough. It's just not thinking big enough, or it's thinking way too long of a time frame for something that could be established in a such shorter time frame. I always like, Linda, how you talk about shrinking that time frame. I think Ben Hardy says that, but
Yeah, to create that pressure. I think about all the times Gary's gotten mad at me in a room when I say, well, look, how do you know what to set realistic goals? And what I meant with the context was because I didn't want to beat up my people over goals. And I mean, literally, he would shut me down every time. It would almost make him angry. And it finally dawned on me. This is why.
Yeah.
Because your eyes only see, your ears only hear what you're looking for. And if you're looking for $1 trillion value, you're going to figure out how to find $1 trillion value and create it.
I also think we don't think about how big that number is. And so I want to read you this real quick. If you want to visualize the difference between a million and a trillion, 1 million seconds is 11.6 days. 1 trillion seconds is 31,709 years.
Oh, good Lord.
So if someone can be worth $1 trillion, can I be worth $1 million? Can I be worth 5 million? Like what, you know what I mean? Like you realize how big that is, and $1 million doesn't sound so big anymore once you realize that someone can be worth $1 trillion. Can I be worth $1 million?
Wait, will you say the trillion again? 1 million second, or wait, say that whole thing more.
1 million. Yeah, 1 million seconds.
Uh-huh.
About 11.6 days.
Wow. Okay.
1 trillion seconds is 31,709 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
Golly.
Yeah. So just for reference, like that's my thinking behind this one was I just wanted to expand my brain to think that if you're thinking $1 million is really big, like most of us, like making $1 million, it's a lot of money.
Yep.
But compared to making $1 trillion, it's nothing.
Yeah. Perspective is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
it sure
good.
makes 5 million seem a lot more possible.
Yeah. Oh, Press, these are so good. So good. And you know what I told my top agents this morning? This is the best time, honestly, to be doing these because it's mid-year. People are already like either excited because they're on track for their goals or they're upset because they're way off and they're already thinking about what they're going to do next year. It's just the best time to really go through these.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Awesome.
Well, we'll have to have you back to do the other ones.
Yeah, because I got to do, for those who missed it, 5 through
11.
What did we say? 11. So maybe you guys can have me back on and we'll do a part 2 and we'll hit the last.
Yeah,
few.
we got to do that for sure because, 5 and 6 were really good that we talked about today on my mastermind.
Awesome. Great. All right. So remember, if you haven't already, be sure and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you've been enjoying this podcast, be sure the greatest compliment you can pay Dana and I is to pass it along to anybody you know that would also enjoy these conversations. If you have an opportunity, a challenge, a question, or a guest that you would like to see on the podcast, be sure and reach out to us at info@everything life and real estate. You can also pick up Dana's new devotional, Restore, at restoredevotional.com. And you can join my wait list for the next 10X Breakthrough Challenge at lindamckissick.com. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you again next week.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.